Weili. Sean Weili is furious. He's upset. But 100%.
Oh, from Perth, Australia to lovely Las Vegas. Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of Axcape Picks, episode 131. Today is Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Joe, how we doing, kid?
Doing good, man. Can't wait to get into the stuff. But stuff that we aren't covering, events that are taking place this weekend include LFA 190, 10 p.m. tonight. Road to UFC right after that, 11 p.m. tonight. It starts, but, we'll catch some of those fights after there. And then tomorrow night, Floyd Mayweather makes his return. He's fighting John Gotti III again. We heard a brawl that happened that second time around, so maybe they try to, actually come out with an outcome.
Hopefully no fighting after the fight,
Yes.
actually. They did more fighting after the fight than they did in the ring.
Exactly.
I know.
Settle it in the ring.
I heard a lot of criticism, too, about him even taking the fight. I mean, at the end of the day, the GOAT could do whatever he wants. If he wants to make a couple $1 million to go fight John Gotti, to each its own. I'm not happy for him. I'll support him. But, yeah, we got that this weekend. We start in Washington, D.C. at the Anthem, though. PFL, we got UFC has not taken a break. They will actually take a rare break next week.
Yes.
But we are back at the Apex UFC Vegas 96. Good main event in Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. And then, we got KSW a little towards the end. We got some fighting news with our Jersey kid, Shakur Stevenson. So a little more on that in just a little. But like I said, we got the PFL going down this weekend at the Anthem in Washington, D.C. I love it. The main event, Brandon Loughnane versus my boy Kai Kamaka III. You got in the co-main event, undefeated welterweight Magomed Ultimayev taking on kind of a playoff replacement in Neiman Gracie.
Don Madge, bro, was hurt.
Yeah, unfortunately, but should be a good event. Prelims start at 7 p.m. here on the East Coast. Main card starts at 10. So a little teaser for UFC. But Joe, why don't you start us off? Because I know you have more plays than I do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't have anything official for the first three, but I do have leans. First takes place in the welterweight division. Borrachito Esperanca, Angolan descent, my boy. Minus 600 taking on Tyler Hill. Almost 500 record, big dog for a reason. Like I said, I got the official lean with Esperanca, but the odds are just too chalky right now. Let's go into the heavyweight division for the next fight. Maxwell Dinjantu Nana is minus 400. He's got a lot of knockout ability, but so does Ken Manfilio. He's plus 300. I see value in the dog because he's got more hands, I think. I think his hands are registered. Kind of the same size. Heavyweights, all it takes is one shot. I'll go with the better boxer. Give me the dog as an official lean. And then we move to the featherweight division. Jesse Stern. Every time I've seen his name, it looked like Jesse Stim. Because the R and the N so close. I was like, Jesse Stim. No, it's Jesse Stern plus 150 taking on Jose Perez minus 200. Jose Perez is a more explosive fighter. I do think he could find the chin or maybe, finish this inside the distance. So he's a favorite for a reason. Minus 200. I'll officially lean with Jose Perez. For the first three fights, all leans for you. Nothing official. So let's get into my first official play of the evening, and it couldn't come at a better time. I mean, this fight is probably going to steal fight of the night, to be honest with you. This early on the prelims, let's get on it. Featherweight division, Tyler Diamond. You know how much of a dog he is. Upset last time, didn't make the playoffs, but I mean, he's going to be coming in full force against Enrique Barzola. Both guys, minus 110. It's a pick 'em. I got to go with Barzola here. I'm going with my Peruvians. Maybe you should smack me in the face and tell me you'll wake up, but let me keep riding this high. I'm going to keep going until the wheels fall off. Give me Enrique Barzola because he just brings the dog out in everyone. And this will be a match will show the level of Tyler Diamond. If he can bring that dog out to match Enrique Barzola, then, he rightfully would deserve a victory. But I don't know if he has it. We've seen it time and time again. A guy, everyone's gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. Yeah. So Enrique Barzola is going to bring the fight out of Tyler Diamond. Let's see him match it. So I'm going to go with Barzola, but man, you can't go wrong either way.
Mm-hmm.
I like this next fight too, man. It's in the welterweight division. Ray Cooper III is plus 375, man. Just want to get your thoughts. He's taking on Magomed Berkamov. I know you don't have a play. He's minus 455. I think it's a one shot or bust for Ray Cooper. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I agree. I think if he doesn't get him out of there in the first round, Ray Cooper is in trouble, to be honest. He's that one trick pony. He didn't look all that good on the scale either. He always has issues making the weight, which is concerning back in Ray Cooper. But yeah, I mean, he's too big of a favorite. I would incorporate him in a parlay.
If you were gonna take Burkamov.
Yes, correct.
Yes, and that's who I'm going with. Yeah, I would. I just taking him straight up, but I would incorporate in a parlay if you are doing so. But it's just to say he could win this any back that he wants. I think if he takes him down, Ray Cooper's going to be at a big disadvantage. Yeah, I think he might have better striking. I think it's just that power, that big overhand that Ray Cooper possesses, which is going to be the game changer. If he can
Is he on the back end of his career now, Ray Cooper?
Yeah,
right?
certainly. I think he's on the twilight. He had to rise to it. He won it one year, the PFL tournament. That is, I think he got the $1 million. It came in as a late minute replacement, I think, that year, actually. So the fact is it's possible to come in as a late minute replacement, as we'll see in this main card, and win it all.
100%. I think he was a late minute replacement against Derek Brunson, and Brunson just dominated him.
That wrestling.
Yeah.
And speaking of wrestling, man, let's go right into the main card of this PFL DC. In the welterweight division, Shamil Musayev goes out and absolutely starches Murad Ramazanov, and he gets accredited for having to fight him again. He's got to fight Murad Ramazanov in back-to-back fights, man. It's hard to beat guys twice in your career, let alone in back-to-back fights. I got a surprise for you. As much as we've been riding Shamil Musayev, I just think this puts him in a tough spot. I think it kind of gets the wind out from your sails. Like, he was flying high going to the final, and now he's got to face the guy he just saw. And granted, he could ice the dude again, but Ramazanov is a good striker, and he said it before, all it takes is one. I think Ramazanov's got some value here, seeing the same opponent twice and being motivated to get that loss back. So I'm going to take the plus 205 and Murad Ramazanov. I don't know if you saw this coming, but I'm taking the dog in the first fight of the main card.
I did not see that one coming, no.
You have any play there?
No, nothing. Just in the main event, really.
Yes,
I will say I feel like this playoff is the most deepest, with talent-wise. I think there's a lot of parity.
Undefeated guys.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, looking at this next one, if Braga didn't get iced by Jesus Pinedo, that Jesus Pinedo last year was just, something nobody saw coming. So, I mean, Gabriel Braga could have been an undefeated fighter coming against another undefeated fighter in Timur Kurzayev. Kurzayev's minus 450, Braga is plus 375. I know a lot of you see the fight in Braga, has finishing ability on his feet, but Kurzayev is an icer, man. He just will take you down and smother everything you have going for him. So, got to go with Timur Kurzayev based off the wrestling. I don't think I've seen Braga too much on his back, but when he has gotten there, he does feel comfortable with his jiu-jitsu, and that could be at a fault. So I do think he'll be at a disadvantage when it comes to ground exchanges. So give me Timur Kurzayev. It may go to decision, but I think he's the right side being the favorite here at minus 450. And we made it to the co-main event, as Dylan, mentioned before. Neiman Gracie steps in as a last-minute replacement for Don Madge. I'm seeing it started at like a plus 900. This is swelled up even more so. Am I correct about that? He's an even bigger dog now.
Yeah. So right now he is loading it up. 13-1 underdog.
Woo!
Yeah, minus 3,000. Yeah, it's insane.
In this semifinal for the welterweights, Magomed Umalatov, he's rightfully so the favorite. Everything he's done in the past, he's got finishing ability. He's got this wrestling that's second to none. But I'm going with the dog, man. I'm taking Neiman Gracie. If you look at his amateur ranks, Umalatov, he's lost by rear naked choke. What's Neiman Gracie's favorite submission? Rear naked choke. I know it may take him a little bit to get there, but if it does wind up on the ground, that jiu-jitsu may come into play, and Neiman Gracie may find his back. Give me the massive value in the co-main event slot. Last-minute replacement. I mentioned Ray Cooper did it before. Anything's possible. I'm taking one of the Gracie family members. Give me Neiman at plus whatever, 1,300, 1,500. Give me that swelled up value. I'm taking it.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I love that. And now we're here for the main event of PFL DC. Brendan Loughnane in the featherweight division has been the guy. He's been minus 345 here for this fight against Kai Kamaka III, who's plus 275. I've been rambling away, man. I know you had to play for this main event, D-Rock. Give us your opinions.
Yeah, Loughnane, I think he's considered head and shoulders above every other featherweight in the field. And, Manchester native, he's gunning for the early knockout. I think sometimes he can get kind of get himself caught, and it kind of fades later in the fights. But make no mistake, I do think Brendan Loughnane is one of the most dangerous fighters you'll come across. He is 34. He carries a lot of experience. Former tournament winner, in the semis right now, back-to-back knockout victories. But my boy Kai Kamaka, yeah, he's a pup in Brandon Loughnane's eyes, but he's going to look to put him down, I think, early in this fight. You know, after losing 2 of his first 4 fights, Kamaka, I think he's really turned the corner. He's growing up, and I think he's becoming like that stubborn guy really no one wants to fight. He does nothing that would be considered exceptional, but he has an advanced understanding of where he is in the fight. I think IQ-wise, he's good in a striking battle. He will outwork you and just take enough and take you to the ground. His wrestling is strong enough to have control time. He hasn't had a finish since 2022, which worries me. I don't think he'll be able to finish a very tough Brandon Loughnane. I think if Kamaka stays loyal to his game plan, he could make this a very, very frustrating fight for the former champion. You know, Brandon Loughnane, he steamrolled over his first 2 opponents, but this is going to be a much different test, much tougher task. Give me my boy Kai Kamaka to win plus 250. I can't go away from him now.
No, you've been backing him. He's been making you money, so I can't be mad at that. And trust me, my boy, I was on the fence about Kai Kamaka. I was looking at it. I was looking at his resume. I mean, everything you said is accurate. He's very intelligent, though he hasn't found his way to finishes a lot. Good luck trying to finish him. And he pretty much could school you on the feet. And like you said, he's got heart on the ground. I mean, he is a beast, to be honest with you. Kai Kamaka didn't find his footing in the UFC, but he absolutely could be ranked in the top 15 of his weight class if he were still in the UFC. And obviously, right, he could make it to the final. He's going to be motivated to win that $1 million and motivated to make a name for himself as the champion. I'm just going to be on the other side. Brendan Loughnane's proved it to me before. Like you said, he's been at the forefront of the division. He's been their guy. You know, Kai Kamaka at least had made it to the UFC and made a name for himself there. Brendan Loughnane didn't even have the chance, but they fought similar competition. The X factor for me, even though MMA math doesn't always equate, Justin Gonzalez, Kai Kamaka had lost to him via split decision, maybe controversial, was a loss. Brendan Loughnane did get him out of there. So with that being said, got Brendan Loughnane. I'm on the opposite side. Heavy favorite, not much value. May want to incorporate some sort of parlay with all the heavy favorites I took straight up.
Any parlays you took for PFL this tonight?
I didn't, but we said Berkamov, he was a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
You know, Krizaev is a heavy favorite, and Brendan Loughnane's a heavy favorite. So if you throw the 3 of them, you got minus 345, minus 450, and minus 455. I bet you would still be in some minus money, but at least we get those swollen odds down a bunch.
Love it, Joe. Good luck tonight. A little entree for what's to come on Saturday. But before we do and get to UFC Vegas 96 at the beautiful Apex, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. This is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or new coconut flavor watching UFC Vegas 96, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at X-Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. UFC Vegas 96 going down at the beautiful Apex Arena. Prelims going down at 7 p.m. Main card starts 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. Some interesting, I think this is a much better card, Apex card than the last one.
You saw the last minute like matches they made?
Oh yeah, they made a lot of them, bro. No names, like people I really don't know, especially against Nathan Fletcher taking on the guy from Lithuania. Don't know. Can I buy a vowel?
I'll say it, Zygmantas Ramaska.
Exactly. So we got my boy Vucheslav.
Yes,
like we got some really good guy. We got a fucking fireman from New Jersey,
That's
Francis
right.
Marshall stepping in.
Yes, right.
Against Strong Island Dennis Bazooka.
That's
I
right.
mean GM3 Edmund Shabazian. Death Taxes and Neil Magny. I mean, we are locked and loaded, kid. What do you got?
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's go. You know me, I had to get started early. I think this first fight of the night is rather interesting. You know, Victoria Leonardo, she's been in the UFC for a little bit and hasn't found her footing. I think this is kind of a layup for Kong Wang, who is a bona fide finisher. I mean, this Chinese superstar is next one waiting in line. I got Wang inside the distance at minus 200. That's the best odds I saw of everything that she had posted up. I mean, she is so favored in this one. I'm going to ride with everyone. I'm riding with the Sharks. I'm riding with the Whales, and I'm riding with the public, all taking Kong Wang. She's minus 800. I think it's even swollen up. But like I said, I found her inside the distance at minus 200. Most playable thing for her. Let's get on the board early here. Come on, guys.
Minus 1,200 now. And for her to win inside the distance, minus 188. I see.
Oh, okay. So, hey, if you want to take it a little better there, by all means. And so don't have official plays for the next three fights. First taking place in the featherweight division, as we mentioned, Ramoska is plus 145, taking on Fletcher minus 150. In the bantamweights, women's bantamweights, Josiane Nunes is plus 160, taking on Jacqueline Cavalcante, who's minus 190. Do like Cavalcante, I would say, but I didn't want to even lean in those. And then I stood away from the next fight between Slava Klaus minus 250 and Goku Lontop at plus 205. Did you have a lean or any idea for the fight? I know you mentioned Slava Klaus.
That's my boy, Slava Klaus. He's probably being in one of my parlays. I think minus 225 is a playable thing. If it was around minus 180, minus 195, I do think he'll get it done. I think he bounces back after a tough loss in his last one, but I do like it. Once it got over $2, I kind of stayed away, but I do think he's a good parlay piece for this weekend.
I mean, it could be a stand-up battle. Neither guy, a lot of finishes, but neither guy has been finished via KO or TKO. So this could be a war, low-key. Mm-hmm. I like that one. So let's go into where I actually am getting involved. And, I took a heavy favorite in the first fight. Let's go to the middleweight division where Jose Medina is plus 300 and he's taking on Zach Reese at minus 400. Zach Reese, we saw him last time out. He got that win back after being slammed on his head by Cody Brundage. So I think we all think Zach Reese is going to get back on track here, but not so fast. Jose Medina is an absolute dog. If you remember, he was on the losing end of a Dana White Contender Series matchup. He got a contract from Dana White because how much dog he has in him. Remember, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. Give me Jose Daniel Medina Rivero at plus 300. The dogs are barking early. Maybe not in the Dana White Contender Series, but certainly in the ranks of the UFC. So Dylan mentioned it yet again, man. This featherweight division is getting excited, and we have a lot on display here. Dennis Buzukja plus 125, and he is the one that had a camp. He's the one that's been waiting for a replacement. Just so happens to be fireman Francis Fire Marshall, New Jersey's own, minus 135. We know him personally. Actually, from my school of thought, he was actually a friend of our professor. He's been all throughout the country training jiu-jitsu, giving out seminars. I mean, Francis Marshall is a guy. He's a guy's guy. And I like him in the spot coming in on short notice. The dude's always been in shape. He's always training. He's always ready to go. So I don't think that he has been out of camp. I think he's just waiting for the call. Got the call. And Buzukja has shown holes in his game. Both of these guys have that win over Connor Matthews. So, I mean, it's fair game. I just think Francis Marshall has a better, well-rounded one. So give me the slight favorite, last-minute replacement, Francis Fire Marshall at minus 135.
Yeah, two of my favorite prospects, and it kills me to say this, but I got to take the dog here in Dennis Buzukja. He's been in camp training. Francis is a dog for taking the fight on short notice, but Dennis coming off an impressive win in his last fight. Francis is a little chinny up there. I think he's live at plus 127. The line is telling, though. Francis coming in on short notice and still the favorite is telling. It's a small half unit play, but I do like the dog here, Dennis Buzukja.
Hey, I think it's worth it. He has the power. Buzukja, I think, would have the power advantage. So good play on you there, my boy. May the best man win. Let's go into the middleweight division, man. I like this matchup, man. I think a lot of people are underestimating GM3, but Edmen Shahbazyan has been on a roll. He's minus 300 for a reason. Gerald Meerschaert is plus 240. You have anything on this?
No, I was looking towards over 1.5 rounds. It was minus, let me see real quick. Let me get an updated thing for you. It is minus 112. I think GM3 has fought a little better, and Shahbazyan, I don't think he'll be able to put him away quick. I think GM3 could grind it out, get him to the floor, maybe feel each other out the first round, get over that 1.5. I wasn't very confident on either side. Edmund Shabazian finally got a first knockout, but he minus 300. I think that's a little steep, if I'm being honest. So I kind of just stood away. I was leaning over 1.5 rounds, though.
I do like that play. As you said, if GM3 can find a way to grab a hold of Shabazian, he should have a big advantage there. But on the feet, Shabazian has the advantage. So got to go with the golden boy. I think he'll find the chin. GM3 has been caught plenty of times before. I mean, even by a guy who's not a knockout artist in Khamzat Chimaev. So I think a guy who specializes in stand-up could find it sooner or later. Let's hope it's maybe after the 1.5 if we make that play official and we get a KO in the late second, possible third for Edmund Shabazian. Got it down to minus 150 because it's very favorited. So I think some odds are going to – it's swelling now. The KO for Shabazian, it's going up. I saw like minus 160. Am I right? Do you see it even going up?
For Edmund Shabazian via KO?
Yeah.
Yeah. Minus 150.
Okay, so still at minus 150. Yeah, but it's still favored. It's not often that you don't see plus money when you go specific prop, but seems that it's likely to occur. Let's go into the next fight, man. Are we in the main card now? Was that the future prelim we just went over?
No, that was the start of the main card, GM3.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, so you got this sneaky fight hidden in the main card, man, in the welterweight division. Michael Morales at minus 650 is taking on Neil Magny at plus 450. D-Rock, do we have death taxes and Neil Magny by decision?
I see in some books over a $12 favorite. I see minus 950. I see minus 800. I mean, Neil Magny has to be the litmus test for all top prospects. The 100%. Line is just way too high, way too disrespectful for a guy like Neil Magny, who's very durable. I like over 2.5 rounds at minus 175. Magny doesn't go away. He's a veteran of the game. He knows how to get himself out of danger and out of bad positions and just kind of hang in there usually. I think it could go all 3 rounds. And don't be surprised if Neil Magny makes this a dogfight. I'm rooting for my boy at plus 600, I see. I think if he makes it a dogfight, he could steal around. I know on DraftKings plus 3.5. I think he could win around 29-28 across the board. I do think Michael Morales wins this fight, but don't be surprised if Neil Magny goes out there and sneaks it out. I think the line is just way too disrespectful. It shouldn't be this big of a underdog in anyone in the division. I'm going to go over 2.5 rounds as my official play, slightly, and I'm a guy.
Yeah, man, I like that. You know, Neil Magny, he is stalwart. It's hard to get him out of there. And, you know, the big thing about him is that he never seems to get tired. And what we've seen from Michael Morales in the past is that his gas tank has faded on him, especially when he's come out as explosive as he has. With that being said, I do think that Michael Morales could find a finish. I do think that KO is live, even though I saw it plus 195. I think that odds that we saw as compared to Edmund Shabazian shows how much credit they are giving Neil Magny in the prop section, that he is tough, that he is durable, and he doesn't get knocked out often. But I think there's value there. I think Morales does have that finishing ability, and all it takes is a little slip up for Neil Magny to get finished. We saw it with the Ian Gary fight. So I like Michael Morales. Don't get me wrong. He's live, bro. Neil Magny is absolutely live. Like I said, if he can't get out of there early, Michael Morales has faded. Neil Magny never gets tired. That Army background, that Air Force background, the military background Neil Magny possesses, the grappling, the wrestling. I mean, all this could come into play. Absolutely. Like, so where your head's at is absolutely right. But I'm just going to go on the other side. I'm going to take Michael Morales being an up-and-coming guy, a star in the making, an undefeated prospect that has knockout ability. Let's go with the KO plus 195. And, man, this fight came up on me out of nowhere. I don't have an official play. It's a featherweight division fight. Khan Olfili plus 165, taking to Marin Santos at minus 180. D-Rock, where the hell did you see this pop up?
I saw it earlier in the week, and I was just like, I haven't heard of either of these guys.
Yeah.
So
to be on the main card?
Yeah,
this must be a banger of a fight.
Above my boy Neil Magny is disrespectful.
Facts. I mean, this next fight as well, because I think I remember Robert Valentin. He's minus 175, but Ryan Loder I have not heard of either at plus 155. I think Valentin's the right side. I've seen him have finishes before. I think when he made his UFC debut, he had a little hiccup, but who doesn't, it seems, nowadays? Everyone who makes their debuts normally have a little tough time with the spotlight, with the limelight, but I think he has righted that, and I'm going to go with the favorite at Robert Valentin, minus 175. And now we've done it, bro. You know, now we don't have Neil Magny. We got your girl, Angela Hill.
You missed one. Ryan Loiter.
That's what I just said. Yeah, Ryan Loder. I took Robert Valentine money line.
Okay, and then
I had no official play for the
you skipped
that
one.
last
Okay,
minute
yeah,
replacement.
okay, yeah,
No official play for that last minute fight they made. And then when I went to the middleweight division, Ryan Loder was taking on Robert Valentine, who both of these fights we said were disrespectful for Neil Magny. I think Neil Magny and Michael Morales should have been in the featured bout. But I mean, I digress. So here we are at the co-main event, and it's in the women's strawweight division where Angela Overkill Hill is minus 150 taking on Tabitha Baby Shark Ritchie at minus 105. Practically a pick 'em out. Is the odds swayed in any favor? D-Rock, just give me your thoughts. What do you have?
Yeah, minus 125 right now. Tabitha Ricci plus 112 for No Kill Hill.
Wow.
Yeah, the number's been moving all week. Hill opened up the underdog, and she's the favorite in some books.
Now she's the underdog again.
Now she's in the underdog. So I don't know. Hill as a favorite was sketchy to me. Ritchie, she's solid on the ground, good athlete, fast, good on the feet. I just can't get past the fact that Angela Hill is almost 40 years old. She does have 2 wins in a row. Not the best wins. And, what she did on the ground to Gomez, she won't be able to do to Tabitha Ricci. I don't like Hill's striking defense. She gets hit a lot. I think Ricci will have success. And I thought she fought well in her last fight against Tisa Pennington. Give me Baby Shark to keep it rolling, baby. Minus 120. I see even money at some places at Caesars. So shop around, but I like Tabitha Ricci here.
Hey, I like it. She got that win with Tisha Pennington. She dropped the one with Lupe Godinez, which I thought was a really good fight between the two. But Angela Hill, man, a little resurgence. I think with women, I think they have that ability to stay later in their careers, just like heavyweight men have that. So Angela Hill may have reinvented herself. If it gets to the wrestling aspect, I do think she'll have a tough time with Tabitha Ricci's wrestling. She's very strong there, and she does have some good takedowns. But if it stands on the feet, we've seen a lot of Clash of Styles on this card. I think this is, a greatest example of it, a Clash of Styles. We could see Angela Hill, she can go into Overkill and just start piecing up Tabitha Ricci on the feet. I'm on the opposite side. I'm going to take your girl. I'm taking Angela Hill, the dog spot here. I had her at minus 115, but if I see her at plus 115, I'm going to take her. I'm riding with our girl. Let's see her get it back on track. 3 in a row, maybe a title shot in her future. Come on. Can't hate it. Now we're into the main event of UFC Vegas 96, and it will be featured in the middleweight division between the Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier, who was a plus 170 dog in the main event slot here, ranked number 4 in the world, against Kyle the Natural Borralho at minus 205. D-Rock, you take it away. What you got?
Yeah, I like Kyle Borralho here. The leader of the fighting nerds, he's a black belt on the ground, good on the feet. He has finishing capability, and he has no ego either. And he's fighting a guy in Jared Cannonier who I have the utmost respect. I thought he won the last fight before, he was up until the what happened. Yeah, unfinished. But he's been on top for a while now. He has power, but sometimes he looks too inconsistent. He looks amazing against a guy like Marvin Vinatieri, and then he'll come out and look flat-footed. He's 40, coming off a really tough loss, and Borralho, he's on top. He's on the up and up, in my opinion, but he's a massive favorite. I'm going to go back to my roots, to the old days, kid. Give me Borralho, double chance to win via KO, TKO, or decision at minus 105.
No submission here.
No. Win TKO, because I do think he might piece up Jared Cannonier. So via TKO or decision at minus 105.
Which is crazy, and kudos to you for doing so, because I see it the opposite. I do see that if it does stay on the feet, as we saw in the past, a lot of people, the complaints that we had for Kyle Borralho is his inability to get the finish. Jared Cannonier is a problem on the feet. He's got power. He does have the technique. And to your point, he was winning the fight. He would have been on a 3-fight win streak if it wasn't for that controversial finish in the 4th round against Nasruddin Imavov. So I like the fact that we're on a lot of opposite sides. Let's continue that going here. I'm going to take the dog. I got Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier at plus 170. A lot of value for him in this spot. I don't see how the number 4 ranked guy in the world is this much of a dog. It's disrespectful, as you said about it, is for Neil Magny. Give me Jared Cannonier with the victory. And it's not that Kyle Borralho can't, get back into this position again, but I just think it's a little too soon. I didn't like the resume of what I saw. Jared Cannonier, he gets a win, and we're talking about Jared Cannonier getting the title again. So, I mean, especially with everything that's happened at that weight class. So we can absolutely see him getting a win, getting towards the title in the next couple of fights, but the same can be said for Kyle Borralho. So, D-Rock, may the best man win.
Absolutely. And the Fighting Nerds, I mean, they're on fire right now, kids. You
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
think
mess
Bruna
around with them.
Brazil is the only one that's having a couple hiccups, but she's a fighter, man. She's a dog. So
Yeah.
all of her fights have been entertaining. I think for the Fighting Nerds, they're on the up and coming.
Hell yeah. Cannot wait. Good luck tomorrow night at the Apex. Hey, kid, and we're just 4 more away from UFC Apex 100, baby.
Big old deal. Yes, sir.
And by the way, before we get to some news and KSW, are any play or are you going to be watching? Because I'll probably have a screen or like my laptop on John Gotti and my boy Floyd Mayweather. You going to watch it?
Yeah, I'll tune in. Obviously very gimmicky, but I mean, we've entertained the gimmick fights. I mean, you know what? At this point, maybe I don't know. It's gonna have a clash.
We were talking about KSI in a phone booth on a 2-1.
Yeah,
this is much more.
Come on now, exactly. We're right up on it here, but I think a lot of people will be tuning in to see if they hate Floyd more or if they hate John Gotti more. They're willing to go ahead and want to see someone get knocked out. Obviously, it's most likely going to be John Gotti,
and hopefully after this one, no more of John Gotti and Floyd Mayweather. Let's just keep the fighting in the ring, bell to bell.
Yes,
After the bell, let's not get the family involved and whatnot. But yeah, definitely be watching that. Before we get to 10 seconds left, I'm actually gonna start in boxing since we're talking about that.
Yeah,
I mentioned on top Shakur Stevenson. He's signed. He's been listening to us, obviously. He signs with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. The promotional for Eddie Hearn and Shakur Stevenson, 2-fight deal. First fight, which we'll talk about, is October 12th on that Arthur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol fight. He will fight Joe Cordana. And then the plan is for his second fight to be against Williams Zapata in February. And Eddie Hearn's hopes is to resign him after that and then to make the fight against Gervonta Davis next summer. 1, are you happy he went to Matchroom? And 2, do you like his plan for Shakur Stevenson?
Yes, I do like the plan. I think it's actually smart. So there you go. You have the two aligned interests. Something that we wanted to see happen for Shakur Stevenson, where the promotion and the fight are actually aligned, and then it can make things happen. So yeah, I think it was a match made in heaven. We spoke on the matter. We wanted Shakur to be promoted in the right manner. And I think this is the way to do it. And exactly, you go for the big fights. And I think we're going to get one of those big fights in the big card that we have a lot of our favorite fighters going to be on, right?
Yeah, exactly. In Saudi Arabia, October 12th, maybe the fight of the card, headlined by Arthur Beterbiev taking on Dimitri Bivol in the co-main. Shakur Stevenson taking on Joe Cordana. You got Chris Eubank Jr.
Yes.
And our girl, Sky Nicholson, taking on Raven Chapman. That is going to be a barn burner as well because we know Amanda likes to run away. But other than that, I think the card is amazing, kid. I really do. This is a hell of a fight. Fight card.
Time preparing for this. You know how we saw the Bud Crawford and Israel Madrimov. They had that whole how their upbringing was. They'll have certainly something set up. A B-roll, a whole video package set up for the main event fighters, and I bet you throughout the card there'll be a lot of entertainment value for it. So it should be a good watch, and hopefully the fights match up to the event.
Yeah, 100%. And you also have my boy Ben Whitaker taking on Leon Cameron. Good fights all around the card. His Excellency is doing a great job, and even our boy, in a way, he will defend his WBA bantamweight world title. Gonna butcher this one. Sanaya Tamasusi, October 13th in Tokyo. I'll spell it for you. It's Seiya and then Turasumi. TSTSUMI.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. I can't even find it.
TSUTSUMI.
Oh, Inoue Satsumi.
Yeah.
Oh, so this dude kind of has a similar last name to it.
Yeah.
Inoue Satsumi. Yeah.
October 13th in
the
Tokyo.
Quadruple header.
Yeah, right. But it's unfortunate because he's fighting. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's another no-name kind of guy, and I think that's
his thing that holds him back is that there's not much names at the weight classes. He's need to make a name for himself by destroying all these guys and then hopefully getting to fight with Bam Rodriguez. That's what needs to be in the future for the two of them.
We will see if that happens, but always interested, and it's probably going to be during the middle of the week. It's always, in a way, always
On a
fights during the
Tuesday
middle.
in Tokyo. I'll see you there.
Yeah. But by the way, how did you do Dana White Contender Series? 4 of the 5 guys got contracts. Torres Finney was the only winner
with the win.
And did you see what Dana White said? He was kind of mad,
Yo,
and he goes, he would get
He
destroyed.
torched him. He torched him, bro. He's like, you gassed. He's like, you didn't land good shots. Like, he clowned him, bro. That's just. That was bad. I mean, my boy on the social media, I retweeted. He goes, honestly, Torres Finney shouldn't get a contract based off that awful promo he did after the fight. As not the fight itself, it was the promo that was the deciding factor for Dana White.
How did you do record?
I did 4-1. I made it back. Last week I went 1-4. This week I went 4-1. So I am so far in 2024 500. For Dana White Contender Series. So we righted it. We got back on track. The dogs have not been barking, though. So I got to be very wary about picking some dogs, but look into them. And I do think there'll be some value in the coming weeks.
100%. Let's go to UFC Tampa, December 14th. We got 2 fights announced. Vitor Petrino taking on Dustin Jacoby. That's going to be a barn burner. And then Amanda Ribas will take on our girl, Mackenzie Dern. Yeah. You like those 2 fights?
Yeah, I like them a lot. Yeah, you're getting a stand-up battle. And, you know, we had a stand-up battle with the girls when they fought the first time around. Maybe we get a grappling exchange, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see that. I would like to see Ribas and where she's coming to jiu-jitsu, because we saw Dern try to compete in CJI and fearing she got her out of there quick with a bulldog choke. So I think both of them want to get like a submission, especially if Dern prides herself on her jiu-jitsu.
We got our first fight for MSG UFC 309. Our second, Chris Weidman. Karina Silva taking on Viviana Araujo, UFC 309. I like that fight. That's a very fun fight.
Yeah, Karina Silva has been finding finishes you don't see too often in the women's ranks. And, you know, Viviana Araujo has been like a tank, honestly. She's got very brutal wrestling, strong girl. So I like that. It is a clash of styles, I would say.
And we have a fight, little last-minute fight for UFC Paris, September 28th. Ludovic Klein will take on Nicholas Mata for UFC Paris. You like that fight?
I like it for the Mr. Highlight. I like it for Ludovic Klein. I think he could outclass Nicholas Mata. I haven't liked what I saw prior to the knockout from Mata when he, you know, he got, what was it, Tom Nolan? I think he stunned us all when he got debuting Tom Nolan out of there with that knockout. But for the most part, Nicholas Mata hasn't been all that. He's been chinned a bunch of times, and Ludovic Klein is a brutal striker. So I'm going to give you a lean. I would go Ludovic Klein with the finish, I think, via KO TKO.
And we have UFC Edmond fight changes. So Derek Lewis and Alexander Romanov is off. Instead, now Derek Lewis will take on Joanna Diniz.
Jonata Diniz?
Yeah, Diniz. And Alexander Romanov will now take on Rogerio Nascimento.
Rodrigo Nascimento?
Yes. So the Nascimento and Alexander Romanov will be the co-main event.
Ooh, that card sucks. No,
I actually like it better.
But I like it. It expanded it a little bit. I said that Derek Lewis was going to find Romanov's chin very easily. I think the matchmaking is a little more even because Diniz does have that striking background. Now, I don't want to see Derek Lewis lose. Diniz is very educated on the feet. Derek Lewis ain't going to throw no wrestling involved. He's going to try to throw hands. So now I fear for Derek Lewis a little bit because Diniz is educated on the feet. And, you know, you kind of have a more even matchup for Romanov now. He's not going to just absolutely blast it out of there.
And then lastly, before we get to KSW, did you see the cut and Dana White kind of blast Merab? He got a cut under his eye ahead of his UFC fight against Sean O'Malley. Yeah. He says he'll be good. He got stitches up. He said he'll be fine. You know, Aljo came to his rescue, said, you know, it's not that big of a deal. He'll be fine. He won't make an excuse. He'll be there in September.
What did Dana say?
Dana was just like, our guys are fucking stupid, man. Like, he just put him on blast. He was just like, you know, get in the biggest fight of your career, and then you go out and you do all this stupid shit. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I kind of feel Dana.
Yeah, and I actually am on Dana's side. I'm normally on the fighter side, but I'm actually with Dana on this because precedent. Merab had all this time to possibly get a title shot and be a champ in the past, and he threw it all away because his best friend was the champion. And now he has his opportunity and he goes and does something like that. There's precedent for it and why Dana has these feelings and the way he said on it, because it's not just coming out of left field. is a lot that Merab had opportunities to take, and this level of talent that he has and possesses. I mean, we have future tickets from the champ. We didn't see that Sean was going to be here. Sean seems to be taking this a lot more serious with the interviews that he's saying than what we're seeing with Merab. And it's unfortunate to see with the opportunities that Merab has and thrown away. Not many people would die to have the opportunity to have a second chance. And Merab's been given like his 4th or 5th time now, and he does something like this. So hopefully we're right. They're right that this cut isn't significant. It doesn't affect fight night come September when we're in the Sphere, because like Dana said, it's going to be one-off. It's going to be one of a kind. And I think all of us want to be there. Obviously we'll not be able to afford it, but we're all going to be tuned in for that UFC.
100%. And, you know, it's funny because Merab's always the one trolling Sean in the videos. And then Sean came out with the eye patch. I was just like, yeah, like I met. And now he's trolling Merab. It was actually really funny. But yeah, that's all the news I got in boxing and in the UFC, kid. But KSW 97 tomorrow afternoon in Poland. What do you got?
Yes, sir. Simon Bahor, he's been there, done that for the KSW ranks. He's minus 250. He's taking a Matthew Scheffel. Remember Matthew Scheffel in the PFL ranks? He has found himself getting knocked out a bunch of times, and I see why he's a dog at plus 185, but he does have Chris boxing. Bahor has been caught plenty of times in his past. Might be going out on a limb here, but 10 seconds left. We're getting back on track. Give me the dog in this spot, Matthew Scheffel. I think he makes a name for himself in KSW. You know, coming off that rough loss his first time around, I think he can get it right and beat Simon Bahor. So give me the dog, Matthew Scheffel, at plus 185 for 10 seconds left in KSW 97.
Let's go. Let's try to stay hot, kid. Good luck this weekend.
Sir.
Good luck tonight. That is going to do it for this Friday edition of Axe Cake Picks on behalf of Joey, Viva Tequila, and myself. We will see you guys on Friday, so make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at Axe Cake Picks. You guys can find our episodes wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, rate, give us a review, leave in the comments who you'll be betting on this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Good luck this weekend, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.